Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the corner. It's your Lord and faithful host, C Double, giving you another heaping serving of what God made for us. It's a spiritual blessing, spiritual smorgasbord of food, spiritually speaking, of course, which strengthens our bones during this tough and perilous times. Christ led the way for us to salvation, so we must strengthen our bodies to endure on this tour de force by the trail that He left for us. Glory be to God, both Father and Son. Hopefully, you guys have had a great day today. It's Thursday. Wish it was Thursday. It's Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. I got 3 chapters for you as usual. It's Proverbs 3, it's Philippians 4, it's Romans 15. And Romans 15 has a whole bunch of referential passages. So I got Deuteronomy 32. I'll also read 33 as well. We got Psalms 18, 69, and 117, and Isaiah 11 and 52. So I'll start with those first, as well as Proverbs 3, and then we get into the New Testament. Right? If you like what this channel stands for, hit the subscription button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. Like and comment if you want, but I'll ask you to share the work so that all people can hear, all people that want to receive, I should say, can hear the Word of God. I'll read from the Common English Version of the Bible, namely the YouVersion app. And you can find that in the App Store or Google Play, depending on the device that you use. So with that said, let's get started with Deuteronomy 32 and 33. And repeat Deuteronomy 32, and then we'll turn the page and get into the next chapter after that, 33. Okay. Heaven, pay attention, and I will speak. Earth, listen to the words of my mouth. My teaching will fall like raindrops. My speech will settle like dew, like gentle rains on the grass, like spring showers on all that is green, because I proclaim the Lord's name. Give praise to our God, the rock. His acts are perfection. No doubt about it, all his ways are right. He is the Father God, never deceiving. Altogether righteous and true is he. But children who weren't his own sin against him with their defects. They are a twisted and perverse generation. Is that how you thank the Lord, you stupid, senseless people? Isn't he your Father, your Creator? Didn't he make you and establish you? Remember the days long past. Consider the years long gone. Ask your father, he will tell you about it. Ask your elders, they will give you the details. When God Most High divided up the nations, he divided up humankind. He decided the people's boundaries based on the number of gods. Based on the number of the gods, I should say. Surely the Lord's property was his people. Jacob was his part of their inheritance. God found Israel in a wild land, in a howling desert wasteland. He protected him, cared for him, watched over him with his very own eye, like an eagle protecting its nest, hovering over its young. God spread out his wings and took hold of Israel, carried him on his back. The Lord alone led Israel. No foreign God assisted. God made Israel glide over the highlands. He fed him with food from the field, nourished him with honey from the boulder, with oil from the hard rock, curds from the herd, milk from the flock, along with the best of lambs, rams from Bashan, he-goats too, along with the finest wheat, and for drink, wine from the juiciest grapes. Jacob ate until he was stuffed. Jeshurun got fat, then rebellious. It was you who got fat, thick, stubborn. Jeshurun gave up on the God who made him, thought that the rock of his salvation was worthless. They made God jealous with strange gods, aggravated him with detestable things. They sacrificed to demons, not to God, to deities of which they had no knowledge, new gods only recently on the scene, and ones about which your ancestors had never heard. You deserted the rock that sired you. You forgot the God who gave birth to you. The Lord saw this and rejected out of aggravation his sons and his daughters. He said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what becomes of them, because they are a confused generation. They are children lacking loyalty. They provoked me with no gods, aggravated me with their pieces of junk. So I'm going to provoke them with no people, aggravate them with a nation of fools. A fire burns in me. It will blaze to the depths of the grave. It will destroy the land and its crops. It will blacken the base of the mountains. I'll throw on them disaster after disaster. I'll destroy them with my arrows. Devastating hunger, consuming plague, and bitter sickness. I sent animal fangs after them, venom from dust crawlers, too. Outside in the streets, the sword will bereave. Inside in the safe room, there will be terror for young men and women, nurse and baby, and senior citizen. I thought about it. I could have struck them down, erased them from human memory, but their enemies' rage concerned me. Their opponents might misunderstand. They might say, our strong hands, not the Lord's, did all this because they are not a thoughtful nation. They lack any insight. If they had any wisdom, they would understand this. They would discern what will become of them. How can one person chase off 1,000 in battle? How could 10 people make 10,000 flee for their lives? Only because the rocks sold them off. Only because the Lord handed them over. But no, their rocks can't compare to our rock. Our enemies are completely stupid. Their roots run straight from Sodom, from the fields of Gomorrah. The grapes are pure poison. The grape clusters nothing but bitter. The wine is snake poison, venom from a cruel cobra. Don't I have this stored up, sealed in my vaults? Revenge is my domain, so is punishment in kind. At the exact moment their steps slips up, because their day of their destruction is just around the corner. Their final destiny is speeding on its way, but the Lord will acquit his people, who have compassion on those who will have compassion on those who serve him. Once he sees that their strength is all gone, that both prisoners and free people are wiped out, the Lord will ask, where are their gods, the rocks they trusted in, who ate up the fat of their sacrifices, who drank their sacred wine? They should stand up and help you. They should protect you down. Now look here, I'm the one. There's no other guts with me. I'm the one who deals death and gives life. Thank you. I am the one who wounded, but now will heal. There's no escaping my hand. But now I'm lifting my hand to heaven. I swear by my own eternity, when I sharpen my blazing sword, and my hand grabs hold of justice, I will pay my enemies back. I will punish in kind everyone who hates me. I will make my arrows drink much blood, while my sword devours flesh, the blood of the dead and captured, flowing from the heads of enemy generals. Heavens, rejoice with God. All you gods, bow down to the Lord, because he will avenge his children's blood. He will pay back his enemies. He will punish in kind those who hate him. He will cleanse his people's land. So Moses came and recited all the words of this poem in everyone's hearing. Joshua, Nun's son, joined him. When Moses finished speaking all these words to Israel, he told them, set your mind on all these words. I'm testifying against you right now, because you must command your children to perform carefully all the words of this instruction. There's no trivial matter to you. This is your very life. It is by this means alone that you will prolong your life on a federal land you are crossing the Jordan River to possess. The Lord spoke to Moses that very same day, hike up the Abiram Mountains to Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, opposite Jericho. Take a good look at the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites as their property. You will die on the mountain you have hiked up, and you will be gathered to your people, just like your brother Aaron, who died on Mount Hor. and was gathered to his people, because the two of you were unfaithful towards me in front of the Israelites at the waters of Meribah, Bath Kadesh, in the Sin wilderness, because you didn't treat me with proper respect before the Israelites. You can look at the land from the other side of the river, but you won't enter there. It's Deuteronomy 32. Let's see if I have time for 33. Let's try it real quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy 33 real quick. This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, gave the Israelites before he died. He said, "The Lord came from Sinai, from Seir. He shone like the dawn on us. From Paran Mountain he beamed down. Thousands of holy ones were with him. His warriors were next to him. Yes, those who love the nations, all his holy ones, were at your command. They followed your footsteps. They got to moving when you said so." Moses gave the instruction to us. A surprise procession of Jacob's assembly. A king came to rule in Jeshurun when the people's leaders gathered together, when Israel's tribes were one. I pray that Reuben lives, doesn't die, though his numbers are so few. Moses said this to Judah. Lord, listen to Judah's voice. Bring him back to his own people. Strengthen his hands. Be his help against every enemy. Then he told Levi, give Thummim to Levi, your Urim to your faithful one, the one you tested at Massah, the one you challenged at Meribah's waters, the one who said of his own mother and father, I don't consider them as such, of their siblings. I don't recognize them. Of their children, I don't know them, but who obeyed your words and who guarded your covenant. They teach your case laws to Jacob, your instruction to Israel. They hold sweet incense to your nose. Put the entirely burnt offering on your altar. I pray that the Lord blesses Levi's strength, favor his hard work, and crush the insides of his enemies, so that those who hate him can't fight him anymore. Then he said to Benjamin, the Lord's dearest one rests safely on him. The Lord always shields him. He rests on God's chest. And he said to Joseph, I pray that this land rather is blessed by God, with heaven's gift from above, with the deep water stretching underneath, with the gifts produced by the sun, with the gifts generated by the moon, with the best fruit from the ancient mountains, with the gifts of eternal hills, with the gifts of the earth and all that fills it, and the favor of the one who lives on Sinai. I pray that all these rest on Joseph's head, on the crown of the prince of that prince among birth. I'll be right back with part 2.